Here is an old pre-calculus exam of mine. It has images, it has equations, it has formatting, and I created this using LaTeX, and here's the LaTeX script on the left. And this was an in-person class, so I would print it out and then the students got to use it. So all of these images don't have alt text, none of that's there. And so I have a lot of people asking about being able to take this LaTeX script and just having it straight from there produce an accessible document. And I'm still researching that, of how to do that and how to do it smoothly. But for all intents and purposes, once it creates this PDF, it's not accessible. And I've had some issues, and I showed that in another video about when I created stuff in LaTeX versus Word. Even though the PDFs will look the same, a student pulled it up and it was missing things. So that's in a separate video. But what I want to show is the option of using Word and your old LaTeX script to be able to create a new document using Word. And then that's kind of nice too, because, you know, LaTeX, you have to have all the image, PNG files and all of that. With Word, it's all in one. So let's get to that. So on the right side, I just have a blank Word document. This has math type in it, but I'm not going to create the equations using math type. I'm actually going to go to my script here, and I'm going to grab this little bit of, or not little bit, I'll grab this whole sentence that has the f of x in it here on my LaTeX. And so I have the $sign, f of x, and all of the write-up for that equation, and then I have the text given that, and then the $signs open again. So to toggle between your LaTeX and your equations so they actually show up, you can do Alt \. So I'm going to highlight the equation I want to have show up not as text but as actual equation. And I hit Alt \, and it shows the equation. Ta-da! Yay! Looks so pretty. But if I looked at it and go, oh wait, that's supposed to be a +sign in there, then I can actually toggle back using the same Alt \, and it toggles back and I can edit it, which is great because MathML is not like an editable script or code or whatever it is. So this is very nice. I can actually edit it. And for someone like me who likes to rather type up rather than do symbol hunting and math type, this is very nice. And it will export as MathML using the math type export option as an EPUB. And so if I highlight my other $sign here, I can toggle that and I get my -1/3. Now let's see what happens if I take that same line, copy that, and copy it down here. And if I highlight the whole thing and then hit Alt \, oh sweet. Okay, so I hadn't done that yet. That is awesome. That is really cool. It converted the math to math, and it converted the text to text. I had not tried that yet, so that is pretty rad. Okay, so at this point, I would say, I mean, there's a lot more we can try here. Let's try to find a more complex one, actually. So I'm actually going to select this script here that has the formula math larger in it that I was using to help format my equations. And I want to see if that switches. Okay, so apparently this is what happens when whatever is working in the background from the text to Word doesn't have, I guess, one of the packages, because this math larger, I think I had to add a package to my LaTeX file. And so with this, I can just toggle back and take out that math larger. And then let's toggle back once that math larger is taken out. And then here, what's great is I can just size it. I don't have to do the math larger, because that was an issue in LaTeX when I wanted to size things. That was real tedious. And also in LaTeX, I have a lot of, for instance, /h space, you know, 0.3 centimeters and whatnot. A lot of formatting that I have in there that will not read over into the Word document. So if I were to just copy it, let's say I just copied a huge chunk. I want to copy a ton of my exam, and I just grab it and I were to copy it into Word, and then I want to copy it or highlight it all and then do Alt \. So it looks like it converted all my equation stuff just fine, but all these little things that have to do with text formatting, it's actually, because that's all the words in my document, there's an issue there. And so I think that's for another video. I'll go into how maybe if I wanted to copy an entire exam, how I would go about this with being the most efficient manner possible. I'm not going to do that in this video, but I do like how just given some short lines here, all I have to do is add in some formatting and I could put proper headings in. That's another advantage with Word. Headings and all of that, I feel like personally are a little bit easier to create an accessible document versus writing it entirely in a LaTeX script file here. Now I wanted to address the issue of these images. Some of my LaTeX file, I'd have to go hunt them down. I have just the LaTeX file and all the images would be together. But a really quick way, instead of having to get all the actual PNG files that you can do, you could right click. Oh, this is all PDF, so it's not creating a separate image here. But you could do snip. That's in Word, I'm not sure in Macintosh. And new. And then I can just snip this image and take that and put that in my Word document and then size it however and crop it whatever I need to. And then on my image, when I format my picture, I can put my alt text in, however I'm going to describe this. Now, of course, we have the difficulty in math of not answering not providing the answer to the question in the description of the image. And again, that's a whole other video, but this is where you put the alt text and now that image. So here's the alt text I put in for the image. And now that would make all of this fully accessible and be read by the reader. So let's see how the graph is read. I already tested all the equations and I've shown that before, but let's see how if I have an alt text on there, how it's read.
-4 and -5, title, function graph description, upward facing parabola with vertex at -2, -3, and x-intercepts between
And so we can see that it's now reading the alt text on the graph, and then it would also read all the equations, so everything is accessible.